Hello students, welcome to the class. This is the second video on the lesson quality. In the previous video, a loud reading of the lesson was taken and I hope that you all have read the lesson. With that, you must all have observed the hard words of the lesson and one of the most important thing that in the lesson there are some words written in German accent and the English accent of that particular sentence is given at the right side of your textbook. That will be easy for you to understand. The German accent is given because Gessler brothers, they were the German shoemakers, and that's why the dialogues of Gessler brothers, they are given in German accent. So let's move toward the explanation of the lesson quality by John Galsworthy. Before that, let's look at the image of the writer. Was an English novelist and playwright. His notable works include The Forsyte Saga and its sequels, a modern comedy and end of the chapter, and he won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1932. He was born on 14 August 1867 and died on 31st January 1933 at the age of 65. The lesson Quality by John Galsworthy was first published in the Inn of Tranquility Studies and Essays in 1912. The story Quality, written in first person narrative from an unknown narrator's perspective. The story is written according to the point of view the narrator, the author, is a beautiful depiction of today's cruel reality. Depiction means the description of today's cruel reality. Now, what is cruel reality? The plot is set on the two traditional German shoemakers who did not compromise with quality and craftsmanship but made the sad fate of extinction in an age of marketing where success is determined by advertisement, not by work. So, this is the cruel reality of the present scenario that everything is the success is determined means dependent on the advertisement and not on the work of the quality. Here the lesson title itself shows that quality work, not quantity work. And we know that in today's world you see the different advertisement on the televisions. They are focusing on the advertisement, how attractive advertisement they can make for their products, but in reality the product is not of that much quality, but due to the advertisement they are getting the consumers, the customers. The story shows what our business world has become now. So the story, it is showing the reality of the business world. More the advertising, more the earning. No one pays attention to the poor traditional craftsmen who value art and quality of products. They have to suffer even though they don't deserve that. And because of this advertisement, the people, those who value for the quality of the products, they are not getting the work. And because of that, they are suffering in the earning less money. There aren't many characters in the story, but those that are there are well portrayed, beautifully described, and realistic. In the story, we get very less characters, and most of Kessler brothers and the author or the narrator. The ending of the story is quite sad. There is a sense of loss and grief, and that is what the author wants the readers to feel for those true craftsmen like the Gessler brothers who value quality as the title suggests. And the end of the story is sad because the author wants that the reader should feel the exact hardships of the craftsman, the artist, those who value for the quality and not for the advertisement. So this is the image of the shop of Gessler brothers. If you see in the window, there are very less shoes. Now why less shoes? Quality, written by John Galsworthy in 1912, is about the German shoemakers Gessler brothers. The story starts with a description of the boot shop. On the top was the name plate Gessler brothers, and if you look at the image, see, it is not too much attractive. Nowadays we know that even the name of the shop also written in a very different style and to attract the customers. But if you see the Gessler Brothers, that is simply written Gessler Brothers, and in that window you find the less. Only few pair of boots were there in the window. See that only three pairs, mean very less pair of shoes. Why? Because Mr. Gessler made only what was ordered. So they are not just, if you go in the big shops, we know that a lot of attractive pairs of shoes are in that glass rack, and by that the customer gets attracted. The opposite scene of the Gessler Brothers shop. It, because why the less shoes? Because they used to make the shoes only when they get the order of that, and it was not possible to go to him very often. The author, he has mentioned here that he get very less chances to go to his shop. Because why? It is not because that he was making very bad quality boots, but the boots which the Gessler brother used to make, they lasted for a long time. And if the boots or the shoes are lasted for a long time, why you will go to the shop? And because of that, the author was not very often used to go to his shop, because the shoes which he made from Gessler Brothers, they lasted for a long time. If you see the Mr. Gessler, the appearance of Mr. Gessler, how he is without coat, little bent. If you see the image of Gessler, he is little bit bent. In leather apron, the apron you can see that is of leather, sleeves turned back. Observe the image carefully. The sleeves are turned back. That is the few features of his appearance. The author used to enjoy resting in the wooden chair. If you observe the author, he is resting in that wooden, means he enjoy. And when the author, he enters into his shop, he feels that he is like entering in a church, and the smell of the leather is like the incense. And the author, he feels that the incense which was coming, that is of his trade. One day, the narrator goes to their shop to get a pair of Russian leather shoes, and as author used to go to Mr. Gessler's shop, so one time he went to order a Russian leather shoes. Mr. Gessler retreats upstairs and comes back after some time holding a fine golden Russian leather piece. And when he told that he wanted Russian leather boots, so the Gessler brother, he used to go upstairs and he brought a very fine golden Russian leather piece. After the narrator's approval, he says he will get his shoes tomorrow fortnight. That is the usual routine of Mr. Gessler, that when the order places, then only he used to start making the boots. And when he took the order from the narrator, he said that tomorrow fortnight he will prepare that, means the order will be ready. About the creaked boots, so the author, he has mentioned one of the incident, that what happened with Mr. Gessler and with him. One day the narrator goes to their boot shop and tells him that the last shoes he got from him creaked. And the author, he has complained about one of the shoes which were creaking. And after a long pause, Mr. Gessler asked him to bring the shoes to him. So Mr. Gessler, he didn't reply immediately on that, because he was trying to recollect the particular shoes, because as far as he was concerned from his orders or from his making of shoes, he was sure that whatever he was making, that was the fine pieces, because for making the shoes, it is an art for him, and the artists, they totally indulge in the work. They devoted themselves to their work, and definitely the faulty piece will not be there. And so he took a long pause, but what he said, to bring that shoes to him back. And he assures, even though he told that if he cannot repair them, he will give the money back. And he told that whenever you get time, you bring that back. He would try to repair that, so the boots will not creak. And even if he is not able to do that, he is ready even to cut the money of that from his bill. Mr. Gessler talks about the hardships. Now, another day, he goes to Gessler Brothers to order a new pair, wearing a pair of shoes which he bought due to some emergency from a big firm. So, once when the narrator he enters into Mr. Gessler Brothers' shop, at that time, the author he wore the pair of shoes which he bought in emergency in a big firm. Means the shoes were not made from by Gessler, and he entered. Mr. Gessler at once recognizes that the shoes are not made by him, and as soon as he saw that shoes in the foot of author, he immediately said that those are not my boots. Means that boots are not made by him. He touches a particular spot on the narrator's shoe where it isn't comfortable for the narrator. And exactly, Mr. Geisler, he pointed out at the place where the shoe was not comfortable and says that it hurts there. It shows that, see, even as soon as he observed the shoes, he identified that these are not made by him. Second thing, what he immediately identified, the fault in that shoes, that where it was hurting the author. He expresses his contempt that those large firms attract customers through shiny, impressive advertisement to sell their inferior quality products. And first time, Mr. Gessler, he talks about the hardships of his trade, the problems which they were facing in their business, in their trade. And he mentioned that the big companies, the big firms, they just focus on the advertisement, not on the quality. And what they wanted only the selling, means the earning, they wanted the profit. And that's why the big firms, they have a lot of shoes in their racks. On the other hand, Mr. Gessler's shop has very less shoes because he focused on the quality. How much time it will take, he never thinks for that. But he focused that the customer should be satisfied. The customer should not have any complaint about the product, and hence he used to take a lot of time on that. And the author, the shoemaker, here he first time speaks about the hardships of his business, and he told that these big firms, they don't have any self respect because they are not focusing on the quality. The people, those who have self respect, they focus on the quality. On the other hand, what they wanted to just sell their inferior means not in good quality, inferior quality products. And after listening all these things, the author explains to him under what circumstances he had to buy those shoes. And he told that why he bought that particular shoes in that from the big firm, because the author has the habit that whenever he wanted the shoes, he used to give order to Mr. Gessler only. And first time he had purchased that. And so he explained, Mr. Gessler, that why he purchased that particular faulty shoes from the big firm. And when Mr. Gessler he talked about all these things, the author he felt pity for him and he ordered many pairs of boots to make. And because of that, the author didn't get time to go to his shop. So the next part of the lesson we'll see in the next video. I hope till this much part, this is till page number 75, first two paragraphs, and remaining part we'll see in the next video. I hope this much part is clear to all of you. If not clear, listen the video one more time, read the lesson properly, and even underline the words which you are not able to understand. Find out the meaning of that in dictionary. Thank you.